Welcome to Livingstone Ranch. Spring is here. You can probably see our grass is starting to turn green. Now we may have a few more nights of freezing. It's still early May, so I do expect that. But I really do need to switch over to my summer watering system. And maybe you're like us and you have small acreage and you're trying to do a small ranch or homestead and you just don't have a good water system. Um, Ours, I would say, is not good either, but it does work. Um, so we don't have an ag well or anything like that. So what we do is come off of the house with a heated hose right here, and we're going to replace that hose. I don't want to leave that plugged in and running. It has a thermostat, so it only runs when it's freezing, but I don't want to use it in the summertime. And so we're going to use this hose here, made in America. I like that. I really do like these. This is Flex Stream brand. Like I said, it's made in America. I like the way they flex. They're really nice. So even if they do, the water freezes inside, they still remain pretty flexible. So I really do like these. Um, and so what we're going to do is disconnect from here, and I'll show you what we do with our water um, in the wintertime. And actually, we're going to do the same thing in the summer, just switch out the hose. But we moved in. We already had animals. Like we bought them actually before we found the property, and so I needed a water system right away because there was no water out to the barn. And so this is what we settled on. I got a 50-foot heated hose that runs to here. So I'll take this off. All these insulating blankets over top here. Got another one. More blankets. More insulation. And ants. That's cool. Lots of ants. Okay, so I have this line here that we put in, and so our hose connects to that, and you can see that right there. So we'll take this off and put our summer hose on, but this goes down 6 feet. And then we trenched over here next to the chicken coop, and we have a Iowa hydrant here. Also made in the USA, which I really do like. So these things are awesome. They don't freeze. Basically, how these work is there is a weep hole at the bottom of this pipe, which goes all the way down 6 feet. And then they have a plunger rod that runs all the way down to the bottom there. And so once you close it, all the water that's left in this pipe will drain out that weep hole, so there's nothing to freeze. And that plunger plunges all the way down at the bottom. So we have one right here, and it works really well. Um, I do wish I put it in a little bit deeper than I did here, only because it has some movement to it. But we've never had a freezing problem with it. So then I run that. We kept trenching all the way out to the barn just to make things easier for us so we don't have to carry water. Um, Especially if you're in a blizzard or something like that, it's just no fun. I carry buckets of water. And so we trenched it all the way over here where I have another Iowa hydrant. And on this one, I keep this is a Flexzilla hose. I just found that other brand because the other brand is 100% made in America. The Flexzilla is assembled in America. So that's why I originally got this. These really are awesome hoses. Like I said, if water does freeze on the inside, the hose stays flexible. So it is a lot easier to kind of break that up. But generally I drain all the water out of here in the wintertime. And so I'll just open this valve here and then drain all that water, and then all again on these Iowa hydrants, all that water will seep out the bottom. So here we've got, this is Lucky's water, and this box here is a fully insulated box. We built it to house our heated water bucket here, and it's worked out really well. Our first year we didn't have those, and our electric bill was pretty high on all of our just trying to run water heaters. So we switched a lot of things. I got rid of tank heater for Lucky and switched to a heated bucket, which way less watts. I think this is like 175 watts, maybe something like that, versus a 750 watt tank heater. That this is just working out better. And then the insulated box has been pretty fantastic. Like I said, I just built this to house that, and so I'm hoping to put. It's just scared the yaks. I'm hoping to put this bucket in here. I'm hoping I can make that fit. Again, made in America. I really do like that. And these are I'm just going to use this for Lucky. He doesn't need a giant trough. He's just one horse. So that's what we're going to use for Lucky. And you can see here, I don't have an insulated box for the yaks. And there I still have a tank heater. Now the yaks do use a lot more water than the one horse. And so we do need to have the bigger water trough. Hey buddy. So we do have this lid on here, and that lid has insulation on the underside, which also has helped just really a ton. Our first winter we did have it freeze even with the tank heaters in there, or we just had the one heater in there. But it would freeze here and there. With this insulated top on there, it doesn't do that anymore. And I think probably this summer, I'm going to build a full box for this as well, just to, again, help out with the electric bills. So we're not going to do much with this one today. We're just going to unplug the heater. But for everybody else, we're going to replace all the heated buckets. Again, with all these black buckets here that we got, they're made in America. And we'll water them with that instead of the heated buckets, and I'll put all that stuff in storage. I just don't need to be using them, especially with like Lucky's. He has the heating element on the bottom there, and the hay that he'll backwash into the bucket will get all in there, and we just don't need to have them be used if they're not needed. I'd rather them last longer than having them sit there being used. And so we're going to replace all of our heated buckets today and switch out that hose and get it ready for summertime. So hopefully this will help you guys if you have a small homestead or ranch and you don't have a good water system. This works for us, and I think in the future I want to put more Iowa hydrants out to the goats. We just got them this winter, and so they didn't have time to deal with that. But hopefully this summer I'll be able to move some Iowa hydrants out there as well. That way we're not really hauling water anywhere. And that's ideal, saving time, and especially if it's freezing and 60-mile-per-hour winds. I don't want to be out here hauling buckets of water. I'd rather just turn on a hose. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Livingstone Ranch.